What's the craziest thing you saw during drill? One weekend, we were doing a routine formation in the motor pool. Everyone lined up sharp, boots polished, trying to look serious. Our sergeant was barking about discipline, about how one weak link makes the whole chain break. Right as he was mid-rant, Private Jenkins, who had a stomach like a ticking time bomb from last night's gas station burrito, let out the loudest, most echoing fart I've ever heard in my life. It wasn't just a little slip either. It bounced off the metal walls, traveled through the motor pool like surround sound, and hung in the air like a foghorn announcing disaster. Nobody dared laugh, but you could see guys shaking, red-faced, trying to bite their lips. The sergeant froze. He didn't blink. He just stared at Jenkins like he'd been possessed. For a solid 5 seconds, the entire formation was silent except for the ringing in our ears. Then, as if fate wanted to make it worse, Jenkins coughed to cover it, but the cough pushed out a second one, smaller but squeakier. That was it. The line collapsed. Grown adults dropped rifles, doubled over, crying with laughter. One guy straight up fell to the ground. The sergeant stormed up and screamed, "You think this is funny?" But his voice cracked halfway, which only made it funnier. Even though he knew the fight was over, he tried to order push-ups, but he was biting his lips so hard you could see his face twitching. We ended up doing half-hearted push-ups while still wheezing, tears rolling down. The whole motor pool smelled like defeat and shame. Later that day, people still broke down laughing in the chow hall whenever Jenkins walked in. To this day, we call him Airstrike. The story didn't end there. During the next drill, someone actually brought a can of Febreze and taped it to Jenkins' rucksack with a note that said, "Emergency Deployment Kit." He tried to be mad, but even he couldn't keep a straight face. At night, in the barracks, guys were telling the story again and again like it was legend. New privates leaned in like kids around a campfire, listening to every detail. Jenkins became infamous. Anytime the sergeant said, "maintain bearing," people bit their lips because the memory rushed back. The funniest part? The sergeant eventually embraced it too. He started using Jenkins as a live example. You think discipline is just about drills? No, it's about not losing your mind when Private Airstrike lets one rip. Every time he said that, the whole squad shook with suppressed laughter. It went from an embarrassing moment to a permanent inside joke. Honestly, the Army has taught me a lot about discipline, teamwork, and respect. But the real lesson from that day? Never trust a gas station burrito the night before drill.